Alright, hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. This is Rudy. Hey, I wanted to talk about this new documentary that I hear is coming out, and I just found out about it today, or maybe it's just registered today. My wife showed me an interview between Joel Gilbert and Alex Jones, and once I saw that interview, I went and checked out his website where he's selling the video, and then I read a piece by Jerome Corsi where he writes about the video. And it's a play. The video is named Dreams from My Real Father, and it's a play on this book here by Barack Obama called Dreams from My Father. Okay, it's a play on this book where Barack Obama gives you the story that he's the son of a Kenyan goat herder. Okay, there's several things that I want to talk about that. Okay, but before I get into that, because there's so much that happened today, I want to make a few quick announcements. Justice Roberts is a piece of trash. He's an absolute piece of trash. That he voted for this Obamacare crap, and I hear people saying, well, now the people are going to rise up. They're going to rise up. What are they going to do? They're going to type in a few extra comments on Facebook? Is that what they're going? They're going to really stay up all night typing on Facebook? That's rising up. I got a real pessimistic attitude about men and women of America rising up. You'll have to excuse me. See, I still remember Waco, where the government came down here and killed over 75 Texans, and over 20 of them were children, burned them to death with gas, CS gas, and the people didn't rise up. They don't care. If they got their beer, pizza, and porn, I don't think the American people are going to rise up. I wish that they would. I'm a little bit encouraged about what I'm seeing done to Eric Holder, but we'll see if he spends a day in jail or gets a slap on the wrist or whatever. But it's a little bit encouraging to see something being done against him for this gun running thing that he did. But the people should have rose up, right? When Barack Obama came out with this book and said in front of everybody that he's got a Kenyan father, they should have looked up what Emer Dev Patel's Law of Nations says, that natural born citizens said both parents must be American citizens in order to be natural born. That was our time to rise up, right? And now they're coming out with this story that Frank Marshall Davis could be his father. Look, there's so many things that's done unconstitutional by this president. This TSA crap where they're groping our wives and our grandmothers and our children in the freaking airport, and they're hiring perverts to do that. And, I could go on and on and on. This Fast and Furious crap, Obama's promoting this same-sex marriage perversion. I mean, even the animals got enough sense not to screw each other in the butt. That's what I got to say about this homosexual crap. And he's bowing down to the Kenyan, and he's comes out and says we're not a Christian nation, and NDAA, where he can legally murder anybody he wants to, gets rid of due process. The unconstitutional war on Libya. He held an office at the United Nations at the same time he was supposed president, and this GM bailout and all the stuff he's doing to the economy. Look, he's doing a lot of unconstitutional stuff, there's no doubt about it, but he is unconstitutional. I want to get back to this movie, right? I've ordered the DVD. I don't like spending $22 for stuff like this, because it's like I got to spend money to keep up with the devil, right? Keeping up with the devil costs a lot of freaking money. But I'm going to watch the dang DVD, but according to Alex Jones and Jerome Corsi, who I respect, they say it makes a compelling case. But let's play the what-if game, okay? Let's play the what-if game for a second. Okay, that movie is either right or wrong, right? It's either Frank Marshall Davis is his father, or Frank Marshall Davis is not his father, right? It's one of the two, right? Okay, let's play the what-if game. Now, what have birthers been saying all along? Birthers have been saying all along that the birth certificate is a forgery. That's one thing we've been saying. The other thing we've been saying is that Obama's father, which he told us was Barack Obama Sr., right, is Kenyan, and therefore he doesn't meet the eligibility requirements because his father is not an American citizen. That's the second thing we've been saying. Either it's his birth certificate's a forgery, his father is not an American citizen, and because of that, it's very likely that he was born in Kenya, because Ambassador Odingo said he was born in Kenya, his own grandmother said he was born in Kenya, and his 17-year literary bio said he was born in Kenya. He's locked up all his college records, so we can't tell if he's getting foreign student aid. We learned that he didn't go to Columbia University, so everything that he said is a lie, but we do know that his birth certificate has Barack Obama Sr., and we do know that in Dreams from My Father, he claims that he's son of that goat herder from Kenya. Okay, so what do we, let's just play the what if game. What if Frank Marshall Davis is his father? Well, that means Obama's name should be Obama Davis. That's a little bit ironic, don't you think? You know, some of you guys will know what I mean when I say that. That's a little ironic. Too close to home for me. But let's just say that Obama's father, for the sake of like pretending what if, let's say what if his father really was Frank Marshall Davis, who's a freaking communist, communist, right? Okay, if that's true, okay, that doesn't change the fact that the Obama birth certificate is a forgery. Sheriff Arpaio is still absolutely right for pursuing the forgery, and it doesn't matter that his father might biologically be Frank Marshall Davis. And let's just go with this situation that what if his mom was a floozy, Ann Dunham, I believe it was, Stanley Ann Dunham. What if his mama was a floozy, which it appears that she was, because she's getting naked pictures over every black man's house in Hawaii. So if Stanley Ann Dunham was a floozy, and she might not have known who the father was. She's sleeping around with several black men. So it's possible that she might not have known, and that the Kenyan, Barack Obama Sr., could have taken responsibility for the kid and took him back to Kenya, even if Frank Marshall Davis is the biological father. But that doesn't change the fact that his birth certificate is a forgery and that he still could have been born in Kenya. Both of those things could still be true, even if Frank Marshall Davis is the biological father. Okay, if Frank Marshall Davis is a biological father, that would make him have an American father, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's born in America, because the Kenyan could have taken responsibility, because she could have been sleeping around with so many dang men that they don't know who the dang father is, you know? So, and also he put out a forged birth certificate. And that's true regardless if that movie is true or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? And also, if that birth certificate is a forgery, which it is, Obama let Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin be sentenced to Fort Leavenworth prison for 6 months. Darren J. Moran left the military because of it, and Orly Tates represented another military man that because of this issue. So this has affected the lives of several Americans because Obama hasn't been truthful, and he came out with a forged birth certificate. So one point that you need to remember is, regardless if Frank Marshall Davis is a biological father, the birth certificate is still a forgery. And if it's true that Frank Marshall Davis is the father, then this book is nothing but a big freaking lie. It's a big concocted story to lie to you and to give you a goat herder story. And one thing that we did learn is that we can have Obama come out and say that his father is Kenyan, and all of our so-called leaders, Ron Paul and Mitt Romney and everybody else that's supposed to be taking an oath to uphold the U.S. Constitution, didn't say a dang thing. So it revealed their true colors. We know what the true colors are of the leaders in America, because they didn't say a dang thing. If we go with the other side and say that movie is wrong, and say that Frank Marshall Davis is not the father, then everything still stands. The birth certificate still is a forgery, and he likely was born in Kenya, because his own bio said he was born in Kenya for over 16, 17 years, and Ambassador Odingo said he was born in Kenya. His own grandmother said he was born in Kenya. Michelle Obama called it his home country. Okay, so don't be... I ain't too upset about this new movie. It's possible they didn't even know who the dang father was. But regardless if the movie's true or if it's not true, Obama is a freaking liar. He's ineligible to hold office. There's a reason why they put out the forged birth certificate, and that's a treasonous offense. Okay, it's a treasonous offense, and Obama still has to go, and once he's convicted in a court of law, the penalty for treason needs to be applied to that man. Doesn't matter if the movie's true or not. Okay, I want to get to the truth, and I'm willing to open my eyes to whatever the truth is. But I'm saying that whether Frank Marshall Davis is the biological father or whether he's not, doesn't stop all the facts, what the birthers have been saying, that the birth certificate's a forgery, still could have been born in Kenya, because they maybe didn't know who the dang father was, because she was sleeping around with so many dang men that didn't know, she didn't even freaking know herself. Or, you know, either way, how you solve this thing is you get a legitimate birth certificate that is forensically analyzed by a third party, and you get a real picture of it instead of this PDF multiple layer crap. And if they could have produced that, they would have already produced it, but they haven't produced it, have they? And you know, they let Terry Lakin go to prison for 6 months rather than produce it. See, you see how complicated this web of lies has gotten? It's just lie upon lie upon lie. John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil. He was a liar from the beginning. You know, that's what I think about Obama. So I'll watch the video, and I'm willing to learn, and I want to pursue the truth no matter where it takes me. But no matter where this goes, Obama's still a liar, and he's got to go, and he's not eligible to hold office no matter how this movie turns out. God bless every one of you.